everybody, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Brains and Beauty
times 2. I'm Shayla.
And I'm Miami. And you guys, today we come to you with episode 5 review, season 1 of episode 5 of
Monogamy, honey. Craig Ross Jr.'s Monogamy, okay?
Yes, monogamy. Whew, for those.
Can't wait to get into this one.
For those who just joining us, who just probably just seen this first video, do not forget. We have season 2 already up, ready to go for you guys, ready for you to watch. If you have not got into that yet, we have season 1, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. 6 is next. So you make sure you guys like our page, subscribe to our page, get ready to go and get ready to talk to us on these reviews in the comments below. So not further ado, let's get into this review, honey. Episode 5. This is considered the final day in the house with everybody. This is their final day.
It's been 2 months.
Yeah. Their final day, their last little mohegan, their last little thoughts before they get back in front of their husbands and wives. And it opens up with Connor and Sensoray. Now, Connor and Sensoray, like we said on the last review and the other review before that, and the other one before that, they are very connected. They are so connected. He stated in this episode that he sees himself inside of her. Now, I could use that and say a sexual comment, but I really think he really sees his self, meaning he sees like someone that has a past and has moved on, and don't all of that, because I can go on and on about that. But I just think he just sees somebody who gets him and he gets her, and he actually says, "I get you." And they kiss, and all of they always kiss and try. But yeah, I just think they really come to figure out that, wow, there's somebody out here that I can get along with who understands everything about me, head to toe, past, present. And this is the episode he also mentions that he respects Sensoray's promise to her husband. He respects it so much. Like, if he only knew his wife, but he respects her decision to not do nothing in the heat of a lot of moments, with him catching her in the bed with herself, but he respects her decision. And I love that.
Isn't this the episode where he mentioned that, right?
What?
He mentioned, was this the episode where he mentioned that he caught her?
I believe so. If it wasn't this one, it was the last one.
Okay.
But I think so. Yeah, and this is where he also says, I'm going to help you keep your promise to your husband too. As much as I want you so bad, I'm going to help you keep your promise to your husband. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Which made her even more emotional and made her start crying, because she's like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
What type of man is this, honey? Like, okay. my husband is no way close to this type of man in a lot of different ways. And I think she just felt for a very long time seen, loved, girl, the whole shebang. He makes her feel sexy and wanted and emotionally stable. Like, he makes her feel like that in her way, in their way. You know what I mean? Compared to a Sawyer way. You know what I mean? But Connor gives her that too, but in a different way that she actually needs, that makes her feel. She started crying, child. She don't even need no sexual nothing. She just cries, like, because she really, that's what she needs to hear. Again, like we all do. Like, every woman wants to hear that. So,
they both definitely share the feeling that, whatever it was in the beginning that they wanted out of their respective relationships, they may have gotten it then, but they've grown from that. And they've become different people, and they only wish that their spouses would recognize what these two actually see in each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, recognize their growth, recognize what they need now, not what they needed then.
Yeah.
So
in this episode, this is where he actually states there would be no shame. When we do have sex, though, there would be no shame. There would be no guilt. There would be no broken promises, all in a way in our mental state, so that we're able to enjoy it better. You know what I mean? If we do and when we do get to that point.
If
So
and
I'm
when
going
we
to,
do,
so I'm going to respect that. I just don't want to do it now. And you're mentally ain't going to be there. And then when it's over, maybe when we in it, you probably breaking down. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna like, I loved when he said that. Like, I loved Connor in this episode, because a man who can respect your sexual boundaries is so attractive. And
a man who has self-control is so attractive.
He has discipline.
Period.
You know what I mean? He has discipline. He ain't no little boy who throws a fit, who says, "Oh my God, but why?" Like, a little boy. No, people need men out here. You know what I mean? So he shows, honey, I'm a man. I can hold it down. It's cool. You know, in the back of their heads, I think they like, but we married though. But still, he still shows, oh, it's nothing. No problem. I want it the right way anyway. So that was dope. But this is the episode the husbands meet each other.
Girl, we not going. Don't go there yet. Don't go there yet. Don't go there yet. Don't go there yet.
This is next. Because
oh my God.
So moving on from the introduction of how they came on this episode, Connor gets to meet Dallas. Hello.
They both get a text that they have to go somewhere, and they end up meeting their wives' new spouses.
Yes,
honey.
So Connor gets to meet Dallas, and child, it's so much arrogance going on. Like, it's just so much testosterone. It's
so much D being thrown. Okay, there's so much D slang around here. It's ridiculous. Like, they is not playing at all. They are letting each other know, look, this is what I bring to your wife. I don't know what you got going on and what you doing, but this is what I'm bringing and what I recognize from your wife. And so you're not doing your job. Every single one of them is basically putting it. I think, whose interaction did you think was the most like just whose interaction was the worst headbutt?
Okay, I was gonna say hands down Sawyer and Connor, but when Dallas told Connor, "You ain't nothing but a," what he said, what the term did he use? Because I think I had that in his notes. Hold on. You ain't nothing but a convict.
You ain't nothing but a convict. Yes, he
that hit below the belt, and this is why I hit below the belt, because what my wife and what y'all talking about over there? Yeah. Like, how you even know that? And not even that, what did she say about me to the point where you feel that you can come out of your mouth and disrespect me in a way of my past? That makes me feel as a man that, what y'all talking about over there? You know what I mean? Like,
that.
What y'all talking about?
Smashing my wife.
Well, that too, but it's, again,
on top of that, you're smashing my wife and you talking crap.
Yeah. But like you said, sex is just sex. But now we're talking about deeper stuff. You're revealing something about myself to where this man is now calling me a convict. And that hits because you're trying to get out of that life. Like, how many times do I have to say I'm not that person no more? How many times? How much more do I have to prove myself to you that I'm not that? And you still talking about with this man that I have no idea? Like, that to me, that was the most heated part, because it's just how Dallas came off and just said it. Like,
I'm surprised you said that was the worst part. I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah, because you got to understand, like, when you have somebody really trying to change themselves, and somebody that you love and trust is talking about you in front, like, first of all, this is why friendships, relationships, all of that type of stuff, I don't like people that talk behind my back about things that should not be out and about, period.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? whatever we have going on, there's no reason for you to. I understand we're in an experiment. I understand we have to reveal things, but you could just clearly say me and my husband are just not eye to eye, whatever, because he had a past, whatever. But what makes this man so comfortable to call me a convict? And then knowing that that would trigger me because you done told him too much, like y'all done pillow talked too much of me and my business. And not even that, this is why we here now, because you're not getting over my past, honey. I am a stockbroker now, honey. Like, I'm not even in that life. If I wanted to be in that life, I wouldn't have no wife, because those men don't
yeah.
You know what I mean? So come on, man. Like, it just dug. I was gonna say Connor and Sawyer first, but that's just ego stuff with Sawyer. But Dallas really put the icing on the cake, like how he left that conversation. It was just.
I wouldn't say that was all ego now, because remember, Sawyer brought up the fact that if he would have been doing his job, then Maggie wouldn't feel like it was her fault for their loss. You brought up his dead child. Girl, I was like, whoa, you went there, bro? Like, you actually had the nerve to talk about this man's child. Regardless of what you're doing with his wife, regardless of that. That is that man's kid that he lost. You really went there? Like, you really went there?
Yeah, I get it. We can only pick one.
But I knew Carson wasn't gonna
take the bait.
I knew he was gonna keep it, he was gonna try to keep it classy. Now again, he was still hitting too, but his hit to me was nowhere on that level. Like that, you want some old stuff now. Like, I agree with you. The pillow talk is just too, like, you done told him too much of your business, of your husband's business.
Yeah.
Whether y'all know y'all gonna be together or not, why would you think that's something that you should share with him?
Yeah.
You could have told him anything, but you ain't had to tell him that.
Yeah.
Details. Exactly. And Maggie as well. Like, why would you? Now, Maggie, okay, because it was your child, I understand why you felt like you had to share that, but we'll go into them later.
Exactly. But ending it with Connor and Sister Ray storyline. Sister Ray.
I feel like this was the one time where Connor is supposed to be the G. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be the G. We all know his background. We know where he came from and all that, what he's been through. Well, not 100%, but we know he's been through something. And what his old life was. But I felt like this is the episode that he truly showed emotion.
Okay.
As a man,
what it is.
Most men are like, yes.
He showed both sides. He showed Sister Ray the positive part about him.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, when he got back from that meetup, he showed her this side that was very standoffish, coldish when he first started talking. But again, he was in his feelings. He was upset, and she felt that, like, hold up, who is this man? Like, I don't even recognize you right now. Like, what's going on? And that's when I felt like, as men, it is so important to step back out of yourself, because right now, I know you holler, whatever you got dealing with, to open up and say something. Like, this is where he got emotional. This is when he opened up to her and said, you know what? This is how I'm feeling. Like, this is what it is. And he broke out of that nasty little vibe he had, because he was very snippy and shorty with her, like, child, boom, 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 whatever. But then he got out of that and opened up to her and made her come out of her mouth at the end of it all and say, you know what? I have a shell of a marriage. Like, because it ain't nothing like this. Like, my husband don't even open up to me like this. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even talk to me like this when he's having a bad day. Like, he basically walked in there with a beer and was just, he didn't want to talk to her. Like, my marriage is in shambles. Like, I don't have time to sit here and play with you, little girl. You know what I mean? Like, that's how he gave me. But then he broke that.
Yeah.
And I thought that was amazing for a man to pull out of the circle of being in whatever he in and let somebody in. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to do that. Like, he broke it and told her. And he just said, I just want to be honest. Like, can we be honest here? And I still love my wife because right now I'm hot, but I want to be honest with you, and this is how I'm feeling. So
yeah,
he really, he showed himself so much with her, like, mm, 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 mm.
he definitely did. There's no no question about that. He definitely did. He would. I was happy to see them show a realistic view of a man who's been through kind of the things that he's been through,
Yeah,
but still has grown and still has a vulnerable side. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and given the right person, they will show that. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Given the right circumstances and the right person, that they will show that. And I'm glad that they showed that, though he was trying to kind of almost fall back into his old self of kind of
exactly.
reflecting and not, or I'm sorry, deflecting and not really trying to answer no questions and kind of going back into that smart aleck role. I'm glad it was immediately checked because it showed the growth. It showed where
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So imagine this is why I chose him in Dallas situation to be harder because difficult because you done grew. Like, why do I have to see him be chastised in so many words? Look, I don't use the word, girl. Chastised. And by this ugly husband of yours, and not even like this your husband? This your husband? Like, that's how I felt.
That's how he was. Isn't that how he was looking at him when he walked up? Like, man, please, you ain't got nothing on me, bro.
Yeah. So they just,
that was pretty funny.
Yeah, like, this your little tidy whitey husband. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I can't even believe you like me and you like that.
Yeah,
like that. We two total different sides of the coin, honey. Both of us.
Both. But yeah, so they last day, they basically just said, we just gonna see how the chips lay with both of our partners. You know what I mean? Like, this, we just gonna see how it happens. And she just ended and said, I guess some things just stick. Like, I think when she leaves this house, I think he has made such a big impact on her in a lot of ways
that she could no longer accept what she's.
He's not either. Yeah. He's gonna always remember her as well.
Yeah, of course. So, yeah.
Their last day in the house was they showed each other, both of them sides, and they know exactly, if they wanted to move forward with each other, they know exactly what they're getting in so many words. And I like that.
Yeah.
They were just honest, straight up 100 with each other. And who doesn't want that?
All right. So moving on to the next couple, honey.
Maggie and Sawyer, child.
Maggie and look how you see. Stop it, Angie. Meg, I don't like you said that. Maggie and Sawyer, like you turned away from the camera, honey.
You know how I feel about Maggie and Sawyer. But no, Maggie and Sawyer scene opens up with her drinking in the doggone bathroom. She just had a breakdown. She's
realizing reality.
Yeah. And she reveals to him that she lost her child, and the child was a few months old. And he's like, what do you want me to do? And she's like, I want you to bring him back. Like, she just got into this this headspace of where she probably was at with her husband too. Like, nobody is that powerful, ma'am. And I think she really believed at that moment to tell him, bring him back then for me. And maybe she was just in a broken moment, but I felt like she really believed, like,
she was in a broken moment, but at the same time, when she said, I just need someone to do something. I need someone to do something. And it's like, so all this time, were you not communicating with your own husband because you felt like he wasn't doing the one thing that you wanted, which was bringing back your child, which he can't do because he ain't God?
Because nobody.
I mean, what is he supposed to do? Like, you're not fully processing the extent of what is now reality. You understand what I'm saying? And on top of it, you felt guilty, and because maybe you all aren't communicating, you felt like he also is blaming you by not saying anything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get the feeling that Carson, not the Carson that we've seen so far, would blame you for your kid not being like I just don't see that. I don't see that.
And I think too, maybe they just haven't had that conversation yet.
No, definitely. I feel like that's definite. They have not had it.
They haven't even had the exchange of communication around the baby, around the raw feelings of husband bring him back, and him telling her, babe, I can't bring him back. They just in this weird space, probably looking at each other like, how did we lose our baby? You know what I mean? And we don't know up until this point how they lost their baby. But it's just like, see, this is why communication is, when I said last episode that I am in a university, honey, I am in college with this doggone thing, because this is why communication is so important for both people. Because, and then not even that, to actually listen and let the other person be able to throw it all out without being judged. You know what I mean? Like, girl,
you can't get through things. You can't work through things if I don't know what's going on in your mind.
And
I can't communicate how I make you feel or how you make me feel if we're not talking. I can't figure out how to fix it if we're not coming. So I just think that they've been in a space for so long where they just kind of
don't know where to start.
Walk through life. Like, we just do our day to day and we don't address that. Yeah. And but you don't understand that thing has affected the rest of your life after that. From the point of that time, whatever happened with your baby, from this to now, that one event has affected everything in your life from that point. So so y'all just haven't addressed it. So how y'all gonna move on? How are you going to move forward? You can't. Y'all are still at that event. Still.
Yeah.
I think move from there.
There's two issues with Maggie and Connor. One of them is that if you don't communicate, you can't heal it. You know what I mean? It's one thing, you got to move on, whatever, but both of you can't heal. And I think the second problem that they have is that they work together. So if they work together, they can avoid the problem, because now we have to come together and get this work together. So today we can't talk about baby because we have taxes, we have bills to pay, we got
contracts, we get
home, it's all business, and that has covered and put a cloud over the conversations of talking about the baby and talking about the reality of why there's no conversation at all about it. And I think that's just
separating work and home.
Yeah, and then now I'm thinking about, this is why she is so extra in trying to compete with him in work life, is because like you said, like, who is to blame for the baby? Like, she feels like, who is to blame? So maybe she's like trying to take charge and work. Like, Carson, I told you I got this together. Like episode 1, I told you I have this together. Like, I told you I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Like, trust me, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I think she just wants some type of control somewhere, because maybe she lost control with that. You know what I mean? They just the working together,
or wants validation.
Yeah, wants validation because maybe she feel like a terrible mom that her baby is gone. You know what I mean? So now she has to find some type of value somewhere else. And right now for her husband, I'm kind of just like freestyling this, but with her husband, to make her feel like a great wife, because she doesn't feel like a great mom in front of him, let me be the great wife and try to take control and help him extra and be extra and not bring emotion and keep my little head wrapped and not even be a wife. Like, you're really his secretary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're definitely their biggest issue, I think, is communication.
And it showed. Like that scene with Sawyer showed
being able to face it and tackle it. And I'm sure that's a very hard thing to talk about and discuss.
Oh, girl.
You know, no matter what the situation was surrounding it.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure each of you probably blame yourselves for some part of it.
Yeah.
But because you haven't communicated, you maybe think the other person has blamed you too. I don't know.
Yeah. The problem is if you don't.
We're definitely hoping they get through that part. But her saying that she wants Sawyer to bring her baby back, I was like, oh, you got a whole other issue. Like, now I get kind of how you were in the beginning of this. Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, now because you have some sense of happiness, now he's supposed to fix everything? No, baby. Because you got to do your own work. He has nothing to do with your issues. Nothing to do with it. You got to fix your own work, period.
But the good thing with him is that he brought it out of her. He's bringing so much out of her. He's bringing the sexual part out of her. He's bringing the head wrap off of her. He's bringing the issue to the table that she realized that it has not been healed yet from her. So he has opened her up in a lot of ways, and not just sexually, not just physically, not just as a woman, how a woman should be. Like, he has really opened up a lot to her from what we can see in the episode and what's going on. But in the midst of that, he gets a text, and this is when he has to leave to go meet the hubby. So that goes into him meeting Carson, honey. And
that exchange right there, I loved it. It was so funny.
First of all, he's already a fighter. Sawyer is he's already kind of like playboyish, slick mouthish. So he's like, oh, yeah, me and Mags. I'm like, don't tell me.
Okay, now you coming up with nicknames for my wife, bro? Like,
yeah, like, me and Mags, you know what I mean? And like you said, he gonna sit here and reveal to him, like, it's not her fault that y'all lost this baby. You know what I mean? Girl, how did you feel about
his face when he made that comment? I was like, no, he didn't just go there. Like, he looking at him like, wait a minute. Like, because I know he was like, bruh, I haven't even talked to my own wife about this. Like, what the hell is going on right now? Like, did she really share it with you? You feel me? There's no way you wouldn't just know it. So she had to tell you this. But then you talking as though like you've had my wife, bruh. Like,
yeah, like me and Mags. And
I felt like in a way Carson was still trying to be respectful of and really more so show like what you're not doing when it comes to your wife. You not being able to listen to her and to really like understand who she is. Even when he threw in the thing about about girls, I was like,
oh yeah, when Carson said you don't know your wife and her and her love for girls or whatever, how he said it.
Yeah, like you don't know much about your wife, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it was just funny, and I think that's what threw Blue. I was about to call him by his real name, child. I was about to say it's Blue. Lord have mercy. That's why Sawyer was like. I think that's why he went there with the whole kid thing. I think that took him there with the whole kid thing. Like, bro, like you're not gonna sit here and act like you know my wife. You feel me? It was just their exchange was so typical, and I think just as it was starting to get heated, their phones went off and said, "Okay, that's it. Time's up. It's time for y'all to go." Not knowing that two other players in the experiment are sitting at the same cafe with y'all. They haven't met up yet, so I think it would have been maybe obvious if they would have blew up or if something would have happened in that moment. So they cut it,
ended.
Yeah, they're like, "Okay, that's it. Y'all said what y'all had to say. Y'all gotta go now."
Yeah,
and I just.
Yeah, with these two, it's funny because both of them are not handling business at home about discovering who their wives are.
Yes.
Because the work is in the way. Again,
yes.
Sawyer and Caroline, they work together. Their main conversation is about deals and the next fight and practicing and the gym. And they're always talking about work to where, dog, you don't even know what I know about your wife. And your wife like, girls. And then, dog, you don't even know about your wife. And your wife then told me about the baby that you have not resolved yet the conversation with her, making her feel whole and complete. You know what I mean? Like, that exchange for me just showed how them two men are just so different. Like,
they are very similar, but yet so different.
Yeah. And you could see why she opened up to Sawyer. Like, we already seen why she opened up to Sawyer, but them two facing each other at the table, it was just like, you got like Mr. Planned Parenthood over here, you know what I mean? And then you have Mr. just off the wall. He doesn't care what he say out his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, I don't know, it was a good exchange. Then his behind gets home and give her a cake pop. And again, being sporadic about everything and not having things so planned and telling her it ain't no GM, it's GMO up in here, it's sugar, it's everything up in here. Just try, just eat it, just live a little bit. Like, just live, lady. Like, just take it. So she just takes it, girl. She just lives her life. And yeah. they just talk about how she just says, you know, my husband is a lover, not a fighter. And they just, like you said, they care for each other in their bubble. On their last day, they realize they really care for each other in their bubble, in their house, in those 2 months. They have
but then she starts to question like whether this is just the feelings are this way because we're in our own little world here. Yeah. And there's no outside forces and there's no anything. We have no like other ties other than our experience in this bubble. Yeah. Or is this deeper than we think? But we don't know. Could you honestly say that you've given your marriage 100%? Like you've given your marriage 100% before you can honestly say that you're done? Have you truly feel like you've done that? Yeah. Before he can really answer, she told me something. Hold on, I'll be right back. And even I thought that was weird. I was like, hold on, where's she going? Why you just ask the man a question, let him answer? Yeah. And girl,
he just runs to the bathroom and he
runs to the bathroom and you wiping face and mouth. What's going on over there?
And that scene cuts and the episode ends. But before we get into that, child, we're gonna move on to Caroline and
Carolina and Carolina and Mr. Carson. Mr. Carson.
So this is the episode. He basically tells her, you know, like these lights, I sell these lights. Like I know exactly why it was placed here. I know why these lights were here. I know why they're trying to see us and all of that. So anyway, that's how it kind of opens up. It continues from the last episode, and he reveals that to her. And then she wants to tie his behind up, honey.
She was like, hold on, okay, I hear you, but what's up with the submission, though? It's my turn.
She wants to give back, honey.
It's my turn now. You got your turn. It's my turn. When we gonna get into this again?
And he gives in. He lets her do it. He was nervous. He was like, please just make sure you don't touch me. Like, don't do too much. But for him to do that, I thought that was commendable because, listen, I know you want to always do that to me, but let me do a little something.
He let her have control, which is what she wants. That's what she craves. She loves that. Yes. She needs that from her man to allow her to be the dominant person that she is. Yeah. But also know how to show dominance in a way where she doesn't feel like she's necessarily giving up power. Because remember, even when he had her in submission, she still had all the power. She controls when this ends. She controls if we go further. Like,
and he has so much self-control.
It's like a mind game, bro. Like I was like, oh, okay. Notes.
Okay, Shay. All right.
Let me write this down. That's a good one, right?
You know, I'm taking all type of notes, honey. I
gotta let the husband just see this episode on the slide, honey. Like, hold on.
All right, Jay. Go ahead and tie up.
Girl, right in the middle of it, he get the doggone call, and that's when he got to go and meet. And he's like, man, are you serious? Like right now? This was getting so good.
But yeah,
so many things. It's like we can't share with y'all because we know what's gonna happen next, and I want to say something, but I can't.
How do people say? Don't say nothing. How they experiment? People say you can't tell nobody. You
can't say nothing. I can't say. Look, they talking about they in control.
They in control
right now. They are in control because I can't say nothing. I really want to say this. Really.
And you can't. So we're gonna move on because you're behind. Can't say nothing. So anyway, their last day in the house. This is their last day. They go ahead and talk about their last day and what their realizations that they got. And basically, he says to her that she is definitely impossible to forget. And I think that's a vice versa thing. He likes to dominate, or he likes to be in control a little bit too. She likes to be in control a little bit too. He likes that. She likes that. And what really got me on this episode from Caroline, for her to be so strong and just so all of this dominance that she's supposed to have when she's in front of her husband. She's like, she got so submissive and like so like girly and was like,
Yes, she did.
She was I was like,
wait a minute.
and
you
he
was
brings
really
it
like
out.
you turning and you doing that mushy stuff that girls normally do, and you ain't been like this the whole episode 1, 2, 3, or 4. Like, what's going on right now?
She like, you gonna have to blindfold me because I can't see you walk away.
I can't watch you leave.
Come on with the lag, right? I had to jot that down so I can use that one day. I don't want to see.
Noted.
But yeah, like that, she just showed such a
that even though they haven't been intimate, they also have an emotional kind of connection that is a little. I say theirs is dangerous as well. So I feel like Sensory and Connor's relationship and their connection is very dangerous. For their marriages, I should say. And I feel like Carolina, and even though, you know, I think they've been the most respectful of their relationships with their partners, I still feel like, I don't know, I just feel like when you have an emotional bond with somebody, it just runs so much deeper than anything else that you got going with other people. So it's like, that to me, it's almost the most dangerous connection to have.
Yeah.
Theirs was crazy. I was not expecting her reaction like that.
No, I wasn't expecting her whole demeanor. Her whole demeanor was very girly, like very like made you feel like 15, 16, 17 years old. Like I felt that in the screen, through the lines, through the everything, like through the script. Like these actors and actresses are doing phenomenal for this to just be on now Netflix, and now of course on UMC, but now on Netflix. Like they did, like not even that, because we got to do the review for episode 6. Like I'm talking about why I feel the way I do in that episode review, but they did so good. Like, and I'm gonna tell you why, but they did so good. So anyway, moving on to Deandra in Dallas, honey.
Girl.
Now, this episode opens up for them. That bed scene, that sex scene, on my notes right here say, ooh, child. Like, that's my note. It say, ooh, child.
Oh, my God. My note said, girl.
Dallas, honey.
Look.
Deandra in Dallas. So on their last day, they get
down and dirty. They, you know, this the last night, so we got to leave it off with something. That's what it looked like.
How they get through it.
But then they start, you know, that regret and that you know, starting to question things, starting to sink in, because
and it's
again,
crazy.
That like my mama always said, that bedtime only lasts so long. You got to come out to bed at some point. You got to figure out everything else. So I think it's starting to set in as soon as he was done. It's like, oh,
what did I just do?
I got to go back to life now.
Yep, but it's crazy because you would think the regret will come from Deandra. Girl, it's coming from Dallas.
Yes. I was surprised that it came from him first.
And you know why it's regretful? Because your wife has agreed, you and her agreed not to even go there. But your behind feels so accepted and loved by Deandra. You just gives in. You give in to her, knowing what your promise was to your wife. You know what I mean? So I think that's why he gets a regret quickly. And then of course,
because he says, I've never cheated on my wife before, ever. And they've been married the longest, right?
Yeah, they was married.
Yeah, so that makes sense. Okay, it makes sense. And it also makes sense because he hasn't also, you know, she keeps going with the, I'm strong, I don't need saving, and she's sticking to that. So it's like he hasn't really broken her yet. She's starting to break him down.
Right.
So okay, you see how the writers write us.
Girl, the writers, the game, the experiment, everybody from A to Z. Just everybody. I just feel like he just gave.
I never thought about that until just now. Okay.
I know. Like I'm saying, when you get in those moments of talking, you be like, well, dog, I ain't feel, you know. It's just like I use the word like I'm freestyling this because it's just like, where is this coming from? I didn't even see this the first time going around when we watched it.
No, I didn't. There's so many little things that I missed that I'm like, how did I not think about that the first time? Yeah.
And you know why? Because we have binge watched the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did one review.
Yeah.
Instead of doing it episode by episode. And doing this episode by episode has just been like,
because you really have to break it down from here. Yeah.
And you find little things like, ooh, that's
y'all hear this, y'all. Y'all hear this, audience. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to really pay attention to each. When y'all are watching this series, I almost feel like you should have a notepad. I ain't gonna lie to you. You should have a notepad. You should have something where you're taking some notes, because there are many things that you should be like. I'm married already, and I'm taking notes on certain things that I've like realized. I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's just notes on things to do and not to do. Like I feel like, me personally. So
girl, I told you I'm in college. I'm single, but I am in college, honey.
I am Monogamy University.
Girl, I'm learning from everybody. I'm learning from Deandra. Big vibes from Deandra. I'm learning from Caroline. Honey, I'm learning from Maggie Lass. I'm learning from Sister Ray. Honey, I'm learning from Maggie a little bit as well about not being so stuffy and dealing with things in my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm learning from these men on how they should be treating me and how not to be treating me. Like I said, on all of these episode reviews, I have to agree with you.
And what you really want.
Yes, and what you don't need.
Being able to communicate what you really want so that the person can actually make a true valiant effort to make you happy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what you wanted in the beginning isn't what you want later on.
That too. And
you gotta be able to bend.
And what would make myself happy.
Yeah. Amen.
You know
Amen.
What I mean? Like, what would make me happy in doing this? Or what would make me feel like a woman complete if this happens to me? Like I have said, this is a college. This is a university, and I have to agree with you. Like, you have to take some notes. You have to have some mental notes in there, some physical notes, because this series is really some real tips for life, honey, for life. To live life in relationship with
relationships, yeah,
with a partner, yeah, like
because they all have things that they're teaching you, whether you've ever experienced these exact situations or not. It doesn't matter. There's parts in everybody's relationship that I feel like you can relate to, or you've seen or witnessed, and they all have. There's nuggets everywhere. There really are nuggets everywhere.
Girl, it's jewels all over the place, honey. I have my knapsack. I have my bag. I'm going to pick them all up, take them, cash them in. Honey, it's jewels all over the place. But anyway, so yeah, again, you guys, this is why we are reviewing this. This is why we took the time to do this once again, to break this down and not just leave up a one review of all episodes, because this thing really is teachable, real tips, real jewels, real everything, and just free game. It's free game. So
free girl. Sis.
Yeah.
Free game. Thank you. I love that. Yeah, this is exactly what it was. Monogamy.
Free game.
Free game. Come get it. Okay?
Instead of you going in the house and telling me about your experience, instead of me going in the house trying to learn about this experience, I get to see it. I want to. So anyway, but yeah, so back to the couple of Dallas and Deandra. So he gets a text to leave and go meet up with Connor. And of course, we were talking about what they talked about, and moving on to their final scene and their last day and what they realizing. She's packing up everything. And again, like when I say I'm just learning from Deandra, child, because I do want a man to pack my stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I want him to pack my things. You know what I mean? But to see her,
got to take care of. She has the need to take care of. I'm taking care of you. I want to do this.
I don't have to. He said, that ain't your job. She said, I know, because
I know, but this is what I want to do. This is
I want to do that. And that to him is like, man, I ain't never had this in a.
But that also makes her feel. I think he doesn't understand that makes her feel useful, because in their relationship, money is not really the issue because they're not in a real relationship right now. So how else can I be How else can I be the hero here? How else can I be useful here? I can't be useful in any other kind of way.
I feel like she's competing with him on the hero vibe.
Yeah, she is. She won't acknowledge it, and she won't
verbally
say that's what it is. But that's exactly what, like he said, what he made a comment before, like maybe maybe both of us need to figure out why we're trying to be the heroes in our relationship. Like,
yeah, and
she
it's just
didn't make
like
no comments, but she should be thinking about that too.
Exactly. But I think in their relationship, I think like you said, she's showing him a little bit more. Like she's showing him balance. Like he said, you're showing me balance, like how to be Mr. Saver and also how to be saved as well. Like he shows him that balance, and that's how it should be. Again, like I said, I want somebody to pack. Yes, do that for me. I want you to cook too. I want you to clean. I want you to surprise me. I want you to wash the dishes, wash the clothes when I'm not home. But then at the same time, I want to give to you too. You know what I mean? So again, their relationship just shows great balance of a man who is just so dominant, always trying to be detective, always trying to fix stuff, but then have a woman who has everything too and just wants to just be like Caroline and just give and just be that little girl, girly wifey type of thing. So,
but when he tells her he knows what he's learned, and he's learned about balance with her, and he kind of knows what he wants and all that other kind of stuff. And that Negro takes that ring off and puts it on the bed, like, look, like, I'm assuring you I know what I want by removing this ring and letting you know what it is. Girl, I was like, oh, so we making decisions and we ain't even went back to our wife yet.
You know what? That too. But let me just say this. When they said, I forgot who said this, him or her. She said, Deandra just something. Okay, going back to the crazy Deandra side of her, because she's the loving part too, but she back to crazy. She said, I'll never have this with my husband.
She said, what?
We would never have this with our spouses. We would never have this. We would never have this. And I have a big wow.
You doing your relationship already, so you've already made it very clear that no matter work you can ever do will ever fix your relationship, basically.
Yeah, and that was seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I was like, my note says, wow. Like when you say we would never.
Yeah, that's a bold statement.
Not gonna try.
Yeah.
You're not gonna try it. You're not gonna say, okay, I have discovered this, that I'm missing something like this. You know what? Let me try to figure this out. No, we ain't never gonna have this with nobody else. We're not gonna have this with our spouses. Like, never?
Yeah.
From a woman's mouth,
to
like,
me, that was another couple that made me feel that, like, no, y'all just came here to escape y'all relationships right now. Like, y'all came here to escape. Y'all didn't come here to fix nothing. Because if you can that quickly start engulfing yourself into the point, like, you came in playing wife. You came in trying to take care of and do all these things. You was down with the get down. You was down with everything, honey. And then turn around and tell this person, and you ain't even had one conversation with your husband about an experiment that was supposed to save and repair your marriage, and you ain't had one comment or nothing to him, and you already talking about something. We'll never have this. Oh, okay.
She's something. And
I wish they would have recorded that and sent it to Connor. That's what I wish they would have did. Record that and send it to Connor and see what happened. Record something. Please record that and send it. I think this was the episode I can officially say I didn't like.
Right, Shayla, you said
I didn't like them. I did not like. After this, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with them. Both of them. I'm finished with both of them. They are pissing me off.
Why? Let's touch on that before we end. Why?
Well, because they rude. They cold. They are so cold. They are rude. They are disrespectful. I feel like personally, they don't value their marriages at all, bruh. Like, the moment you got an opportunity to show your behind, you show Joe behind. And then you just straight out disrespecting your spouse. Like, you taking off rings. You ain't had one conversation with her. You over here talking about something. We'll never have this with our relationship ever. You just married this man a year ago. I mean, what changed in a year? So whatever vows you took, you ain't really taking things too seriously. That's my personal opinion.
that makes it so much clear to me, because now that you say it like that, it makes me feel like the reason why she's so easy and eager to be like, it is what it is because she's freshly married. You know what I mean? Like, she hasn't put the time in. She hasn't put all of the time in like Dallas had. Like, that's probably, again, that's why Dallas had his regrets, because he had been married. He's married the longest out of everybody, especially over her. She's freshly married and he's the elder in all of the marriages. So it's just like, she's just so fresh to where she probably like, it is what it is. Like, who cares?
I'm just still trying to question, like, what did you get married for? What did you get married for? Like, it was only a year ago. A year flies by, so it should feel like yesterday. What did you get married for? I'm not understanding. Like, you didn't need his money. You didn't. I don't. She made me mad this episode, and I was just over her. I was done with her. Like, at this point, whatever. Connor, I truly hope, boo, because I really like Connor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Darius McCrary plays him, y'all. Just in case y'all was wondering who it is. You know what I'm saying? I it's just.
You don't deserve that.
You don't deserve that. You mean the man is trying to change his life, and and he's trying to get himself together. I think a lot of times that we think in relationships, and I know it's kind of the Lord being like, Shirley, don't say that, because, you know what I'm saying?
Say it, girl. Say it, girl.
Don't say that, because she could just, be, she needs to go through her stuff too. And I get that. But I just feel like that's just so cold. Like, they're just so cold. I feel like their emotions, they don't really care about their partners like they say they do.
This is why they in a problem now, because both of them don't communicate right with their partners regardless. 8 years, 10 years in, 20 years in, 1 year in. They are like that. And again, this is why they mesh so well, because they are just the same. Just the same. I know.
I really hope that they change my mind, but right now I don't like them. My least favorite couple. I am so sorry to the actors. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing a great job at acting now. You're doing a great job. We're not questioning that, but I don't like y'all character right now, like, at all. I do not like y'all.
Yeah, Dallas give his.
I know Angie can't stand Maggie, and Maggie been getting on my nerves too, and Maggie will soon continue to get on my nerves. But y'all is really making me mad. As units, as individual units, I just don't like y'all. So,
but yeah, man. So that was episode 5.
Oh my God, y'all!
All of that was episode 5. I know y'all probably felt. Hopefully, you felt the same way we have felt, and if you have not, try go back and watch it again. If there's something that we have left out, missed, because we didn't want to go through line by line of the show, but if there's something that was major to you that we missed out, put them in the comments below. We'll go ahead and get back to you, conversate with you, and everybody else will as well, because everybody on our channel, we all communicate with, like, the family, the community. We all communicate with each other about this doggone series on our YouTube channel. So don't feel free to comment below and see us talk to you and see everybody else talk to you too. So we thank y'all for watching. Child, and ready for episode 6 review. You hear me?
It's coming up, honey, and that one's even more in detail. You got to really be paying attention. So we want y'all to make sure that y'all got to watch episode 6 again. Watch it again, because you got to know the details of what's about to happen, because what happens in the next episode is the premise to everything that happens after that.
Yeah,
so
and definitely.
That's a special note for you. Just make sure you're paying attention. So
I know, especially going into season 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So this was good. Again, got us all hyped up. We learning everything, growing and flourishing and all of that. But yeah,
probably an hour long.
I know. Like the channel, subscribe to our channel, and find us all over social media. And that's it. See y'all on the next review. Bye. Girl.
Now I remember it. This is when I did not like them. I was done with them at this point. I almost wrote them off on episode 4, but no, it was episode 5. I definitely wrote them off. It was official at that point. Like, I just thought they were so cold, bro. Like, how could I marry someone like you? Like,